Cinco de Mayo to you. So give me a minute as I get my set ready for today's presentation. And while I do that, I want to thank you all. Well, first of all, to my first-time viewers, I want to thank you for tuning in into this platform. To all my returning viewers, I want to say hello, friends, and thank you for your support. All right. Let me see who is on here. I see you, Miss Pamela. Grand rising to you. It's showing, telling me another person is on here on Facebook, but I can't see who you are. But before I go on my teacher mode, put on the teacher hat, continuing as we are continuing to Teacher Appreciation Week, I want to first apologize in advance to all my Mexican and French brothers and sisters for the butchering of the names that I'm about to do. I know it's no excuse, but I am a true gringo. All right, I see you, Miss Marlene. Happy Cinco de Mayo to you. I see you, Miss Pat, on hubby's cell phone. A grand rising to you. All right, Cinco de Mayo has recently become much more of a United States celebration than a Mexican one. Americans, we love holidays, and I could testify to that, being one that looks for any excuse to party, to celebrate life. And we have to admire our own ability for turning a day of sacred or patriotic observation into a good excuse to shop or party or both. Cinco de Mayo is perhaps the latest holiday we co-opt and then promptly forgotten the real significance and spirit of this important anniversary in Mexican history. Before we prepare for this year's celebration, let's put down the tequila and take a moment to meditate on Cinco de Mayo's profound and life-affirming simple message to the world. Forget you, friends! Confused? Well, for all of those who slept through the entire 19th century section of 10th grade history class, I now present to you a Q&A written by Tara Gaines. A Q&A to help you discover the true meaning of Cinco de Mayo. So, Cinco de Mayo is not Mexico's Independence Day, nor the anniversary of the invention of the margarita. I see you, Miss Regina. Yes, always. I'm always happy when I see you on live. The holiday commemorates the Mexican forces' triumph over the larger French army in the Battle of Puebla on May 5th, 1862. So why was the French army in Mexico? The acknowledged reason was that Britain, Spain, and France had lent Mexico money, which the new president, Benito Juarez, refused to immediately continue paying interest on. He changed his mind once their combined ships arrived in Veracruz, while the British and Spanish took their money and huffed on out of there. The French army arrived to party in 1862. Early in the war of French intervention in Mexico, Mexican French forces under General, I'm gonna butcher this name, Ignacio Zaragoza, managed to hold their own and even beat down the superior in-number French army near Puebla. Mexico won this battle, but soon lost the war as more and more French troops arrived. Emperor Napoleon III decided it was a good time for Mexico to convert to French and conspired to put one of his his some number once removed cousins by marriage, Archduke Ferdinand Maximilian Joseph of Austria in power. So you may ask, how did Napoleon III convince the younger brother of the Austrian emperor to declare himself Emperor of Mexico? I'm no historian, but I imagine the conversation went something like this. Napoleon III. Hey, Ferdy, look over there across the Atlantic. I think that Mexico country is totally checking you out. Ferdy Max. Mexico? I barely know Mexico. No, really. The word is Mexico can stop talking about the time you reformed the Austrian Navy and how much harder you are than your older brother. I don't know. Mexico seems a little young for me. And that's why Mexico will use the hand of an experienced leader like you, bro. If Mexico were into me, I totally hit that. And when I say hit that, I mean march on Mexico City with French troops and the Mexican monarchists behind you and declare yourself emperor. Good man, it's 1863 already. Do you really want to be the one loser out on all the European royalty who hasn't declared himself emperor of something yet? Ferdinand Maximilian Joseph sits down, the Archduke of Austria, but gets up, Emperor Maximilian I of Mexico. End scene. Though legitimate historians deny it, gossips on the interned and apparently in European courts at the time whispered that Maximilian might not have been the son of Archduke Franz Karl of Austria, but the love child of another affair between his mother, Princess Sophia of Bavaria, and Napoleon II, and this is why Napoleon III picked Maximilian. Also, Maximilian's wife, Marie, Charlotte, Melanie, Ostatine, Victory, Clementine, Princess of Belgium, went insane after Maximilian lost his Mexican throne and was executed. She spent the end of her life as one of the richest women in Europe, wandering around a Belgian castle. So, how does the United States fit into all of this? The Monroe Doctrine. Know that while Maximilian ruled in Mexico City, Juarez armies were gaining victories throughout the country. The French were getting tired of footing the growing bill right about the time the United States Civil War was ending. Throughout all the unpleasantries, Secretary of State Seward was known to mother, "Hey, not cool French, haven't you heard of our Monroe Doctrine?" And we began showing more overt support for Juarez. Cinco de Mayo has recently become much more of a United States celebration than a Mexican one. In the 1960s, the day began its ascension as a regional holiday in the United States Southwest as a way to promote Mexican-American heritage and pride. It only became more commercialized in the 80s. And while a holiday seemingly built around margaritas certainly has its allure, I think Cinco de Mayo took hold in our imaginations because it's a great underdog story. Something Americans, perhaps both continents of us, have never been able to resist. Even as we've become the global big guy, we love stories of the little guy holding back the coming hordes while shouting, "Here we stand our ground," in whatever language or on whatever ground that may be. So throughout this day, I hope you hold in your hearts the true spirit of the battle of Pablo as we slam down that shot of tequila. Now, I'm not saying, because like I told you, I'm one for partying. I'm not saying do not eat your tacos, do not have your tequilas or margaritas. I'm just saying, while you celebrate in your way today, remember the true meaning, the true reason of Cinco de Mayo. All right? If you found today's presentation uplifting, or if you learned something new from this message, click on the like button, comment, share. For those that are watching this video on my YouTube channel, I encourage you to also like, comment, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We will have a guided meditation this evening at 9:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all for joining me in this educational experience. And as I stated before I started the presentation, my apologies for the butchering of some of the names, but I hope that did not take away from the message nor the presentation. Yes, Miss Deborah, thank you. Grand rising to you. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Thank you for touching and agreeing. Miss Pamela, I don't recall saying grand rising to you, but good morning, Miss Marvarine. Happy Cinco de Mayo to you. All right. So, I love you and know that I appreciate you. Peace and blessings.